Hello my beautiful biscuits. Today I'm going to be doing a palette collection video, and I'm basically just going to give you a rundown of all of the palettes that I have, what I like about them, what I don't, how often I use them, blah blah blah, and yeah. So I'm going to go through my palettes starting from the ones I use the least to the ones I use the most, and yeah, let's get started. The first palette I have for you guys is my Smashbox Studio Pop Eye palette, and it's almost like this really big book. I got it from I think they're called makeup wholesale stores, so it's kind of like the faulty products or like the extras, weird stuff like that. And it was a really good deal, and it's just this huge book of eyeshadows. I don't use this one very much just because they're not like the most, okay, that's annoying. They're not the most practical colors in the world. I mostly use it when I'm doing makeup on other people because there's a variety, and normally I do makeup on other people for special events. So stuff like that, but it's a really nice palette. The quality is great, I just don't use it that much. The next palette I have is this beauty, and it is a trio from Marc Jacobs. I got this last year at Fukubukuro, which is kind of like, to me it feels like Christmas. I think it's definitely in Japan and it's in Hawaii, but I don't know where else they do it. It's basically an event where there's a bunch of different bags and stuff for a certain price, and you have no clue what is in it, and you just have to buy it, and then you see, and it's kind of like a present, and it's just really fun. And I really like this palette. The shadow quality is incredible, and it is called 114 The Star. I mean, I think if I would have purchased this myself, I probably would have gotten different colors, but I really like this, and I think it's fun, and I have the lightest color on my eyes right now, and I really like it. The next palette I have is my Tarte Neutralized Palette Volume 2, and I got this probably more than a year ago. It has really nice natural-ish colors. I think they're very springy. The brush that it came with is amazing. I honestly thought that was like one of the best parts, honestly. The shadow quality is pretty decent. The bottom are shimmery. The bottom are all shimmery, and you might be able to see yourself. And the top are all matte. They're a little powdery. There's a little bit of fallout, but I just really like the colors. And I just don't use this one a lot because these are very cool tone, and I'm a very big fan of warm toned eyeshadows. I think I might use this more this year, hopefully. Next, I have my Naked 2 palette. Probably like, what the duck? You don't use this very much? I actually don't, but I don't know. I got this a long time ago. The darkest color broke. That happens to every single one, almost, of my Urban Decay palettes. The darkest one always breaks on me. I don't really know why. But I really like the color selection. It's like right in my neutral range, and I just don't get around to it because I have lots of other palettes that have kind of like similar shades. But I definitely use this, I used this on my mom's friend when she was going to a party thing. And I think it's more of like a darker palette, so it's more if you're like going a night on the town, and yeah, I'm 14, so that doesn't happen a lot. Next, I have my Naked Basics palette. This is the original one, and like I said, my darkest one broke. I don't know why that happens to me. This is a really nice palette, just if you want a very neutral palette. This would be really good, like, if you're getting right into makeup, like your very first palette type of thing. Oh, and the shadows like fall right out of the thing. I don't know if that's everyone or just me. So the next palette I have is my Stila In The Moment palette, which is this really gorgeous palette. I'm kind of sad I don't use this one more. It's just kind of hard for me to use these really bright purples on a day-to-day basis. And yes, purple is my favorite color, but it's obviously not the most wearable at times. But there are still really pretty neutrals in here, and I really like this palette. I just don't use it enough. But yeah, it's really pretty. Next we have the Naked 3 palette, which I think everyone has talked about at some point or another. And this is the only palette I have from Urban Decay that my darkest color is still intact. And I use this more in like the summery springtime because I think these rosy tones are really nice, and some of these colors down here are very similar to the ones in the Naked 2 palette. I just don't use this like every single day. It's very shimmery, so this is really amazing obviously if you want like really pretty rose gold makeup. but I don't use it every day. But don't get me wrong, I really, really like it. Next, I have my Itty Bitty NYX Love in Paris palette in Merci Beaucoup, which is thank you very much in French, fun fact. And this palette was, I think, 10 bucks, and I love it. It was super cheap. It has matte brown, which is my absolute favorite. I feel like every palette needs a matte brown shade. And it has dark colors. This color right here, even though it's shimmery, it blends out to be relatively not super shimmery, and it is so pretty. I just love the colors in here. The pigmentation isn't incredible, but for drugstore, I think it's pretty good. Next, we have my Lorac Skinny Eye palette, and this is the plum one. Here we have this gorgeous palette. I can't even tell you how much I love it. And this was 10 bucks. I got it at Nordstrom Rack, which, trust me, go there. It has really, really great makeup. These 3 colors right here are my absolute favorite. This one is a really pretty burgundy color and burgundy purple, and you guys know I love that color. This is a cool tone purple plum, and I love it. And this one is so unique. And obviously there's really great neutrals, a nice highlighting color, and this is like a black, but it's like a greeny black. I don't really know. These are just incredible. I would definitely recommend getting your hands on these. Next, I have my Lorac Pro To Go palette, and I love this thing. This black shadow is just a really great black. This is a gorgeous matte brown blending shade. 2 pretty highlights. Chai is really kind of a warm, unique color. Mink is a nice cool tone. And look at this, Pazam! There's another part. And this is a gorgeous bronzer. This really pretty baby pink and this coral color. I love this palette. The pigmentation, the quality is great. It's an all-in-one, and I just really, really like it. The next thing I have is the Lorac Pro palette, and you guys have heard me talk about this plenty of time. This thing is so well loved. The only drawback is that the shadows are not very big, but let's be honest, like, when do you finish everything in a palette? Not very often, so it's okay. The color selection is incredible, and I just think this is a really nice palette, especially if you want to get into like the doing other people's makeup type of thing. It's very universal. And then they also have a Lorac Pro 2, and it's a much cooler toned palette, but I'm a warm toned person and I absolutely love this. It is such great quality, and I think if you want to get one palette with like a very large range, I would definitely recommend this. This is my second to last palette, and it is my Anastasia Contour Kit. This is amazing. Everyone talks about it. It's just great. The colors are awesome. This is the light version, like the light to medium, and then they have a medium to deep. These are great contour shades. This warms up the face, highlighting powders, and this is like a shimmery one. It is so amazing quality, and especially if you just want to get into contouring. I'm not a pro contourer at all, and I think this really helped me kind of get into the world of contouring, and I really, really like it. Now for the very last palette, and the one I use literally every day practically, my Lorac Unzipped palette. And you're probably so sick of hearing the word Lorac, I don't know really how to say it. This thing, I've had this for more than a year, and I'm very proud of my past self who knew nothing about makeup for buying this, because it was a great buy. And you can still buy it today. And they also came out with a gold version, so it's a lot more goldy tones. Incredible. I love this palette so much. These Unspoken and Unbridled, these two are like the most perfect crease shade. This is my go-to highlight for brow bone and inner corner. All of these shimmery shades are just beautiful. Obviously you can tell I've used it a lot. It is quite dirty. This, I'm just telling you, if you want a neutral palette, buy this. Please buy it. It is incredible, and I use it every single day. It is not like over the top expensive, and the shadow size is really big. This is it next to the Pro palette, and you can definitely tell that the shadow size is a lot larger. There's a lot more product in there. You will get so much use out of this. I highly, highly recommend it. And that is it for my palette collection video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, I really want to know what you guys think about my makeup today. I'm very proud of it. I really like it. It's a little bit different. and this lipstick is, oh my god, I fell in love with it. This is Sin from MAC. If you have any video suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will see all of you beautiful biscuits next week. Bye! I have way too many palettes. This is ridiculous.